Hello and welcome to JoyNews Desk with me, Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. The headlines: voting underway in a number of electoral areas in the Ashanti and Eastern regions, following postponement of their participation in the district-level elections held last Tuesday. We bring you live updates from some of the polling stations. You took an investment risk and lost out. That's a lawyer, a customer of defunct gold dealership firm Men's Gold, who invested more than 5 million Ghana cedis with the company. We'll tell you how it all happened and what becomes of this case in court. And residents of Asokore-Mampo municipality elevated the level of boulders on their community to check the incidents of rapid knockdowns along the roads which run through the community. Details of that on our Drive Safe campaign as the Yuletide approaches. These details of these and more, including business, coming up in the hour. Please stay with us. Now, in our first story, voters in some electoral areas in the Ashanti region exempted from Tuesday's district-level elections are voting today to elect leaders for their local assemblies. Among the electoral areas are mentioned South, Etrima-Mponia, Etrima-Mwabeja, and the entire Inshaisu constituency. Electorates in these areas could not participate in the exercise owing to logistical challenges and delayed delivery of voting materials by the Electoral Commission. Voting was rescheduled to today for both the Ashanti and Eastern regions, and we have Emmanuel Brightqueko on the ground at the Mention South constituency and joins us with more. Emmanuel, what can you report from where you are?
These areas did not partake, electoral areas in that particular constituencies did not partake in the district level elections. But I am currently here at the Mention South, specifically at the Sewa Nyako SHS, where around 7 a.m. we had the electoral officials begin the voting exercise for today. That is, those who were exempted from this exercise, they were taking. They are actually voting for today. So as you can see in your shots, that's a woman going there to cast her ballot and dropping it inside the ballot box. But we want to interact quickly with her. Ma'am Pacho, yendin komo kakra. Me pesemi hu about Tuesday na na was some to abano and ende yama mo kwan se monto. E dey na wo kafa won ase wonwuma bi ana.
Oh, de besi bia nyame ase. Nyame te de wo ya ase. Tinye nimise nyame pesende ene ba so nti na ba so. Ti bibia nsi me kwan. Me de me yoki.
Okay, na ufin fa ne ba ha se.
Me fresh Sofia Samai. Afa ho donti na ya tu ani etu case. Ti afa ho donti na free Sofia Samai e de aba se beto aman.
Anti that is a wow preferred candidate out to man now.
Omega nti number afa.
Okay. Na afa yen show eko enim no denti na district level elections and ye twa kwanya say assemblymen and our members on beba no ombedi mpuntu beba den na ka wohwehwe finia wato aba ama na say baby say obeye den ama mo concern ha say
oh omega de minim de otimi ye e fa mfikyire aprapra ne nkabomu ni youth de minim say omega afa ya de timi ni say obekoso ato aso aye de oyen ene o say mi kunti no bibia ni a metanachi.
All right, sure. So that's also an electorate. She explains that she's hoping that her preferred candidate will bring a lot more of improvement into this particular area. But the voter turnout hasn't really been quite good for the morning. And we've seen in this particular station, we understand about 300 electorates are supposed to come here and vote. But we quickly interact with the EC official here and then find out the numbers. Ma, good morning.
Morning.
Pasami who so far no say na exercise na eko.
Oh, so far na eko kakran ni fe bank kakran.
Okay, na dodo na say nipa dodo say na was omo ba ha say.
So far it was 300 neighbor.
Okay, and out of number we no nipa dodo say na ba.
Best 20 na ba.
Okay. But more expectation bi ana.
So far the near yi bia on say election we na nipa enter ma say other ones nti ye hope say ombeba.
All right, sure. All right. So that's an EC official over here at this particular polling center. She explains that she's hoping that the numbers would increase by the day. That's given the fact that during the district level elections, many people do not partake in the exercise, but they are hoping that they'll have a better turnout for today. But I'll quickly interact with one of the polling agents for one of the candidates that will be contesting for today. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Voting exercise, no one is saying, come out.
Oh, kakra. But said yeah, first year 12 and year on one tunisa because if you say Kalopay Kahai giddy, but a low key.
Now, also say, wow, what's your has here now? Also, say, didn't Emma or Momba, Emma Tuabano.
Reason is a that is a Tuabano. You see, I'm young Tuabano. Ain't he a man for both Obua were joined a Jumato and Waba was circling about to air Baba Tuaba or by a young Tuabano. I just say a dafufro. It will acquire man as our Quenya beam into all the one before Ombe to cry. And it's in our Kofana manner. Now, yeah, no, you're disappointed. Now,
Marcus and more than some of the chunk of Abama, more than Ankasa.
So far, the air, and you say, you will film. And I need to say, we run as one for BB and motivating her. Oh, your dear Giannini, some case cannon or no one the train amount for more back, Kakamo Sabetobano.
Let's just say Tuesday, some more Saturday, and then some more
Tuesday, your boy, a cup to a cacasepa, your boy, ama Adani, a Asam Cassia Daiso. And then so the same thing here, if you say Nipana Obano, and I say agents no more, as so much me no man young what in the general abanim. So what I say, Tiwan, yes, you am from motivatuma, and now a Macamo be no more basa or election, ya boy one when me and me at the buses, see baby, if this is our man for Obuoka, yes, and in his car. No idea fakaba because baby tutu amuntia. So tears and you send baby ska no media fakaba.
Me person say I didn't know what some years are doing and sana what make Kenya obi amanaba I didn't. Anya sa ma. On also was more boka baby ana ye bunisa.
Ye boka. Nanso be any day. O pass ni pan so beto aba no. Ono so demand bibi say me mfa me sika mfaka ma emba abia me beto aba me nya hwe infil so. It's wow, Dofana or Dona, O'Donnell. As all fun worker, no better about the mount. One yes, and it will go against you. So I just say, I didn't tell them a cannot I adore so.
Okay, now, me perceive me who in the bench and I'm one or man for you.
Yeah, rice, nay, it be a full so a young penny phone, but until Buffy, the almost some people fool. So tea ye fufua esi penifo bo and I more maybe a media crowd mu twam na say ye wa hase a yesu ye be mom bia di EC offices ye be mom bia di if you say nipa ntinye wa so I say nipa na mo ntinye wa e say serve wo mo no mu obia timi ye fine come de wa o di ntokwa na baba enti ye be come so be di obia na o di ntokwa ba if you say adweye ho. So I just say, and you have a free and fair election. So I just say, oh my, come do be no or co-opponent to work. So I just say, on the BC, it's a new to my this Jumano.
So that's also one of the polling agents for a candidate over here. He explains that they've actually put in place some measures, especially with regards to giving an incentive to the electorates that will be coming around. They have made provisions of food, even transportation, to transport these people from their various homes to this particular center. That's what they would do to ensure that the electorates participate, especially in this district level elections. He explains that if they do not provide some of these incentives, it would never motivate the electorates to move from their house and then come here to come and vote for their preferred candidate. So that's a polling agents here at the Sewa Nyako school, specifically at the Meisha South constituency. So we'll be monitoring other situations happening in the various constituencies and then bring you further details. Over.
Thank you so much, Bright Kweku. Now, we still stay in the Ashanti region, and after serving close to a decade as unit committee chairperson for the Eija Ehembronum electoral area in the Ashanti region, Dora Aidoo is anticipating a win to become the first assemblywoman for the area. Dora is among candidates who spent their savings to cook food for their expected supporters in Tuesday's election, but was rescheduled. But she remains determined to emerge victorious. Anita Sewa Ajoga puts a spotlight on a woman who hopes to transform her community by creating more educational platforms for school-going children.
Local governance in Ghana touches the daily lives of women, their markets, their homes, sanitation and economic activity. However, women's participation in local governance is not a reflection of their proportion of representing the highest population in Ghana, as against the males' 49.9%. In spite of the strive to increase women participation in local leadership, few women are defying the status quo. Among such is Dora Aidoo, popularly known as AY, a donut vendor who is contesting to become the first female assembly member at Eija Ehembronum in the Ashanti region.
The entire person, Mijina Assembly woman, say, my assembly woman, we are friend of Quabra Boating. We are not sure it's a bepimune. And to send a conya betodia, and I was semi preview. Name comment, Nami who say.
I have been part of the unit committee for the past 8 years. I decided to contest for assembly member after the death of the assemblyman.
So about how standing that. Many first time I'm standing tea.
As a female who wishes not to stay behind the fire and enjoy what she does best, Dora is taking the bold step to serve the interests of her people.
Your security was and yet. Into my majesty, by Membruno, you became one boom. Now, my fair ebinum, now, yet security. Now, I only dear. First week piano, or say, yet. I
will increase security and improve on sanitation in the area.
Bicycle no, a dorsum. To me, I'm my father who say, Mepe teachers, no much or my dear.
The election in her area is among those rescheduled by the Electoral Commission in the Ashanti region. Just like many aspirants who know how best to serve their electorate, Dora has expended enough money in her electioneering period.
The chibo fruit or tag junction. Now let's into 1 week, a brew week cramming quite mother. When I'm campaign musa inti me quite juma. The pim na way make quite say, Yamia do a debrunya and sanameko. The boka. See him say the election day, intimate say betray sign, and maybe better.
I spent almost 2,000 Ghana cedis on food for my agents. Because of the campaign and election, I haven't been able to go to work.
Because 2,000. I was saying, Yama woman, so much of Abama. I'm sure about was man as one more Diana. And ye, to tell you, I was so now more Diana, and Sue, by James, I yes, yes, sense also be a Jumanedia, or man now. The president so about printing us a company no Omusa, on for being baby, no one year Jumano. Then your mom was a company and one also did.
For Dora, a win will be an opportunity to contribute her quota to Ghana's development. Anita Sewajuga's report, read to you.
Well, we'll be heading also to the Eastern region in a bit, but before we go there, let's do some stories. Now, you took an investment risk and lost out. That's the lawyer for Men's Gold to a customer of the defunct gold dealership, Men's Gold, who invested more than 5 million Ghana cedis. Lawyer Kwame Kufu, during a cross-examination of the prosecution witness, asked the witness, a civil engineer, whether it wasn't risk he took by investing heavily in an enterprise in that manner. The civil engineer, Stephen Atipo, says he relied on the representation made to him by Nana Appiah Mensah Men's Gold and the brew marketing consult but later realized that the business of the accused persons was not licensed. So what and how exactly did he invest? Let's go through the investment made by the customer. But then we'll be going back to that later on. Our legal affairs correspondent, Richard Kojunyako, is in the studio with us to explain more about this. Richard, what happened in court?
Well, so what happened in court is that you know that this case has been in court for a lot of time, but yesterday the trial commenced at the High Court. Nana Pia Mensah himself was there. He was spotted in some suits and some nice trousers to match. A lot of the Men's Goals customers were there. In fact, when the trial began, the courtroom was not filled, but it was filled to the rafters when the case actually began. So what happened was that he was the first prosecution witness, so he stood in the dock, and then the cross-examination started. And so lawyer for Men's Gold, Kwame Kufu, put some questions to him, and among the questions that he asked him was whether it wasn't a huge risk he took in investing heavily in that manner. Remember that the man, within a space of 2 months, had invested 5.2 million Ghana cedis, and out of the 5.2 million he invested, he got returns of 502,000 Ghana cedis. Among those others that he said, in fact, there was a check of 240,000 that was given to him by Men's Gold, but the check was dishonored in the process, and so all of these things came up in court yesterday. In fact, the man said that he was a civil engineer, and yesterday it was really a very good sight to behold when the man could recollect the figures, the bank account, and everything that he did with the three accused persons that we are talking about.
When that question was posed to him, what was the reaction or response from him to the Men's Goals lawyer?
The customer indicated that, well, there were a series of adverts by these three individuals. I mean, if you talk about legal personalities, so the Bureau Marketing Consult, Men's Gold, and then Nana Pia Mensah, and he said that there were a lot of them. But that was why he took that risk and then invested heavily in that one. So he started getting the returns for 2 months, and then the returns ceased. And so he said that based on the representation by these people, he felt that, well, it was good. But another question that was posed to him was, at the point that he was investing, how much were the banks prepared to pay, the rate of the banks vis-a-vis what Namwan was offering? In fact, he indicated that, well, he felt that Namwan's rates was very good, looking at 10%, and then the bank rates were about 3%, and so he went for the bigger one, and that's where it's landed him.
Well, in your submission, you also said some of the customers were in court during the proceeding. How did they also react to the display or the outcome of the court proceedings yesterday?
In fact, during the CMS and when the trial commenced, actually, they have been very, very happy with the proceedings, especially when the case has been in court since 2019. And so now they are happy that it's landed in court, and they are also happy with the performance of the first prosecution witness in dock. Let's listen to it.
The first day has been so good. The first witness marked the witness box today and was cross-examined by the defense counsel. And we are satisfied with the responses that he gave. He did not depart from his evidence in chief. And so we think that is good. I mean, the facts or the issues that happened were clearly spelled out. And I believe that the court now has the idea, the court now understands the situation, what actually happened. Witness, the evidence that he gave proved that he was a customer of the fund Men's Good, and he really understood the business or the investment that he made, and he was able to defend his investment. And I think that the facts were clearly spelled. The issues came out, and I believe that the responses that the defense team wanted had, or what the court was looking for, it was made clear to them. And so we expect it to go this way. We had even expected that in a day they can do like 2 witnesses, because the court has given March. By the end of March, he said it should be able to come out with its ruling. So, but we want a speedy trial, and I think that's what is happening. So it's all well and good. You remember, during the CMC, even the prosecution said they were going to spend 1.5 hours, but it turned out to be the other way. And so it's all well and good, and we are happy with the responses that came from the witness.
Well, Kojo is still here with us. Kojo, and so this has went on in court. But then what are state prosecutors saying about this whole scenario, and what's their next line of action in the case?
They have a lot of witnesses to call. And so, remember that 39 counts. And so they will go through the 4 hall. And so with each of the witnesses, a cross-examination will be done. And so we will return to the court on the 15th of January when the next prosecution witness will appear in the dock for the cross-examination to be done.
Well, I would like us to go through the amount of investments that these customers have put in, and let's go through these with us. Okay. And this is Stephen Atipo's investment in Men's Gold, right? So yes. on June 1.
On June 1, 2023, Mr. Atipo purchased 5 kilograms of over 22 karat gold from Brew Marketing Consults that cost 1 million cedis. Right. On 5th June 2018, he purchased another 5 kilograms of over 22 karat gold from Brew Marketing Consult at the cost of 1 million Ghana cedis to Brew Marketing Consult. He paid the commission. So after every investment that he does, he pays a commission of 6.4% on the investment that he's done. And so it goes on to the next, the third investment that he did. He purchased another 5 kilograms of over 22 karat gold from Brew Marketing Consults and paid an amount of 1 million Ghana cedis. He paid 64,000 Ghana cedis being commissioned on the amount that he invested. And so this, exactly. So this is the third investment that he did.
Right. Mm-hmm. We're grateful.
So the fourth and the fifth, we go to the fifth with the accused person. He took on the 27th of June 2018, he purchased another 3 kilograms of a little over 22 karat gold from Brew Marketing Consort at 6 million Ghana cedis, 600,000 Ghana cedis. So Stephen Atipo said he paid 8,700 Ghana cedis cash as non-refundable commission on the investment.
38,000.
Exactly, 38,700
Ghana
cedis.
And so with Mr. and on 23rd July 2018, the civil engineer also made his 6th investment.
And then he bought 4 kilograms of 22 karat gold from Brew Marketing Consult for 800,000 Ghana cedis. He paid 51,600 Ghana cedis cash as non-refundable commission on that investment that he did on the 23rd. So in total, he had invested 5,200,000 Ghana cedis in the company's gold votes market for 26 kilograms of gold. He also parted with a total of 335,400 Ghana cedis as non-refundable. So if you look at the percentage, it is 6.4% commission on all these investments.
Interesting. Well, we'll see how the case unfolds in court, and then we'll definitely be following on it. Thank you so much, Richard, for following up on this case. And so, as Richard Kojo giving us details of the Nana Appiah Mensah of Men's Gold trial case in court yesterday. Now, Paramount Chief of the Bulenge Traditional Area, Na Aidoo Ngimi the fourth, has expressed worry over delay by governor in fixing deplorable roads, which he said is impeding development in the area. He stated that though government has continuously assured the people of fixing the roads, not a scintilla of improvement can be seen on any of the roads in the enclave. Na Aidoo mad that the statement at the second Chakale Malibu Festival at Bulenge, from where JoyNews Regional Correspondent Rafik Salam reports.
The second Chakala Malibu Festival, celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Bulungu traditional area, was held on the theme A United Chakale representing our culture and identity for development. It brought together sons and daughters of the traditional area to strategize for the development of the area. It also gives them the opportunity to display the rich culture of the people. Paramount Chief of the Bulungu traditional area, Nasir Nawolomo therefore commended the government for successful implementing its flagship programs and policies such as the free HHS, which has created more access for many to be at school. Nasir Nawolomo, in a speech read on his behalf by his secretary, Kombona Yaya Sedu, however laid bare some challenges that the people in the area are facing, which he will want the government to address to better the lives of the people.
Many rural communities in the Chakale traditional area are yet to be connected to the national grid, including Motigo, Duse, Sola, Gurumbele, Yayoiri, Chakopala, and Dopare, but to mention a few. On road network, the Wabulenga road has stalled. This has made some parts of the road, especially from Busa to Bulenga, very terrible. The road from Bulenga to Duse and from Duse to Gurumbele is nothing better. The road from Bulenga to Yala is as well not motorable. We would be happy if these roads are fixed to ensure easy commuting of farm produce to and from the regional capital, Wa, more particularly the Wa Bulenga Road.
The Bulenga Paramount Chief also spoke about the inadequacy of water in some communities and the lack of a senior school in the enclave.
Water, they say, is life. The COVID-19 pandemic is a pointer to the fact that water and health move together. In this regard, it would be appreciated if small town water systems are established in the following communities: Charo, Kande, Katwa, Paluogo, Chakopala, Dopare, and Dolindoiri. This will increase access to potable water in these communities to prevent waterborne diseases. Honorable Regional Minister, the Chakale traditional area is without a secondary school. This has made accessibility to senior high education a hindrance. In this regard, it will be appreciated if a senior high school is established in Bulenga for the traditional area to fully realize the benefits of the government free senior high education policy.
Our Power Senior Minister, Dr. Abiz Bin Sali, used the opportunity to speak about the recently launched Gulf of Guinea Northern Regions project, which government has received $150 million from the World Bank to implement.
I am pleased to inform you that all the districts in the Upper West region are beneficiaries of this project. I have instructed all my MMDCs in the region to ensure a fair distribution of these projects. I want to assure Bulengena and his people that your traditional area will receive its fair share.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salah, Bulenge.
We go to the Central Region now. The Millennium Development Authority has wrapped up work on a 554-meter road, which forms part of the Kaswa Community Project. The road is expected to ensure easy connectivity to the Kaswa-Winneba Highway, while helping keep the lights on in the area by easing the previous hurdle of transporting fuel to the bulk supply plant.
Community Road project is part of an ancillary of the 435 megavolt amperes box supply point constructed under the Ghana Power Compact program. The project, according to the CEO of the Millennium Development Authority, Martin Benjamin, will enhance connectivity and accessibility.
We thought that access to the box supply point will be eased if we had it. Secondly, it will allow people of the motorway to be able to traverse, go faster out into town rather than going through another, making a U-turn and coming back here.
The project, which cost more than $680,000 to construct, is also expected to improve the supply of electric power to the Kaswa township and its environs as fuel MC for the area. Anita Emisa is hopeful about the prospects of the initiative.
This road used to be a very deplorable road, and with the communities and the neighbors around can attest to the fact that there is easy access. A lot of vehicles are using it, and we are so much happy. It was given to local contractors. That is the trust the government has in our local contractors.
The newly constructed project is anticipated to set the stage for sustained economic growth and improve safety of the enclave to the Kaswa-Winneba Highway and now be easily transported to the bulk supply point.
The residents of Edukrom in the Asokore-Mampong municipality have elevated boulders on the community's road to restrict heavy-duty machines or vehicles and tipper trucks from indiscriminate parking and plying the road. The community has recorded rampant knockdowns amid security threats of unknown substances carried by the trucks. Decrying the neglect of their concerns by authorities, the residents are certain the measure will provide physical barriers to minimize the risk of knockdowns. Clinton Yambua has more.
The stretch is about 10 minutes drive from the Abuabo traffic light. Residents who live along this stretch live in fear. Our conversations with them reveal that this particular stretch is often occupied by heavy-duty trucks at ungodly hours. Apart from the knockdowns that they say are often recorded along this stretch, there is also the fear of uncertainty as to what these heavy-duty trucks that come here could be carrying. Heavy-duty trucks are often capacitated to handle substantial loads. The activities of tipper trucks on the road influence rampant knockdowns and accidents. This woman recounts hospitalizing a child from the situation.
The boy went out with his friends. He was knocked down here trying to use the other portion of the road because the trucks had occupied the other half. Our children cannot cross this road. We send them and we are scared when they delay for minutes.
Residents say efforts to draw attention of authorities to the increasing traffic and pedestrian knockdowns have proven unsuccessful.
This refuse could cause infections and jeopardize our health. They have turned this place into a mechanic spot. They repair their cars and wash them here. We have complained, yet no actions have been taken.
And of course, somebody say,
We have no idea what are in the trailers. We fought with them last week. They come at night from other places and keep the cars for weeks and months. We have sent petitions to the assembly and nothing has been done.
Considering the dangers that the activities of heavy-duty trucks pose to residents who live on this stretch, the residents have elevated these boulders to restrict the heavy-duty trucks from parking here. The local community, led by Baba Ali, have come together to raise boulders in strategic locations.
The trucks, they load full of items. We don't know what they are carrying. It could be highly flammable liquid, it could be hazardous material, it could be explosive. Because stand here and check what they are bringing in the community. Their presence alone is causing so much, issues in the community, including crimes. People's phones have been, snatched from here at knife point and everything. To be able to secure the area, we paid money, and we have all these big rocks, and after that, we just going to write a signboard and put here, no parking for heavy-duty trucks.
Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton Yabua.
We're still keeping an eye on the district level elections. Let's take you to the Eastern region where Kofi Chal is there monitoring for us. Kofi, what have you observed and what can you report for us?
Okay, so you know the election, the whole of the election was supposed to take place on Tuesday. That was on the 19th of December, 2023. Yes, but it couldn't happen in all the districts in the eastern region, as we all know. So the EC came out with a statement indicating that it's only a part of the region that could vote. So in all the districts, only 13 out of the 27 districts were able to vote. So it left a number of them, and that included the New Jabe North and South and some other districts we all know. So except for places like Okre, the Exiapim area, the Afram Plains area, the Krobo block, and the surrounding towns, the rest were not able to vote. So today, the day they fixed for the voting actually took place. So the other districts, as I tell you, are all voting. I'm currently in the New Jabe South, the regional capital, and I can tell you that everything has been very smooth. All the places I have spoken to, they all also confirm that the exercise has been very smooth. They've not reported of any incidents or any mishaps that is happening in the other areas. So I can tell you that everything has been very smooth. Myself, I've been able to vote. All the other persons I met at the polling station I vote have all voted. So if you ask me about what is happening in the Eastern region, I can tell you that everything is smooth and it's ongoing.
I know that you've been able to vote, but so far, how can you gauge the attendance, the participation? Are there as many people coming in to vote?
Oh, yes. The attendance from the time I visited some of the polling stations was very great because, for instance, I went to the Appleton Hall polling station and I could count about 20 people in the queue. I went to one other place, that is the 205 polling station, all in the New Jabe South, and I could count about 15 people in the queue. Some other places like the Prodai, Betomu, and in Supal polling stations, I could count a number of them. So in the morning, from the time that they started, that is 7 a.m. till now, the queue has been very busy. I don't know how it's going to end, but I'm sure from all indications, people are really patronizing this election.
Grateful for your time. Kofi Siao is a man on the ground in the Eastern region monitoring the district level elections. Well, we'll be, monitoring as and when the procedure continues to go on. We move away from there and go to the Ghana National Fire Service, who are complaining that there are too many prank calls still coming to their end. As many as 600,000 of such calls are made to the service monthly. The service is warning culprits to stop. Here's a report by Sweetie Abochi.
The Ghana National Fire Service has been the target of an alarming rate of prank calls, which has become a canker in the operations of the service. Speaking to JoyNews on their preparedness to tackle possible safety incidents in this Harmattan and festive season, Director of PR Department at the headquarters of the Ghana National Fire Service in Accra, ACFO1 Timothy Osafo-Efum, lamented that they receive over 600,000 prank calls in a month.
A lot of prank calls come through, and that makes it difficult for those who are in need of our services to get through to us when the need arises. For instance, in the month of October, we recorded in excess of 657,000 prank calls. When it happens like that, the system is just like you setting call waiting on your phone. So whoever comes first get through, and those who come last are at the bottom. And so unless those who abuse the system get off the line before we can pick those who are in genuine need of our services. And this goes a long way to affect our delivery timing. And so sometimes you hear people say we called the fire service and it took them hours on end to arrive. It is not that we took hours to arrive, simply because those who are trying to get through are unable to do so. There are situations too that those who are affected think that somebody have called the fire service and the fire service is not coming. Meanwhile, no one has called.
This, he says, poses life-threatening challenges to both the service and citizens. He asserted that the festive season exacerbates the situation as children are back home from school. Thus, he warns the public to desist from this criminal act.
We have also experienced that anytime children are on vacation, the prank calls goes high. And so we are advising parents. It is because the parents themselves do it. So the children are also learning from their parents. I'll use this opportunity to advise both parents and children that it is a crime, it's a criminal offense to prank the fire service or any other emergency services. We will be cracking the whip by trying to locate those who are making these prank calls and let the law take its course. So my advice is to every parent to advise their children to stop pranking the fire service. This does not only disturb our delivery time, it also disturbs those who are in need of our services. It deprives them of the much needed services that we need to offer them.
The public is urged to refrain from such actions because lives depend on the service helpline. Only call when you need it. For Joy News, I'm Sweetie Abochi.
You're still listening to Joy News Desk. We'll be right back with business after this break.
Hello, welcome to Business. My name is Dora Aidoo. The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has trained over 1,000 small and medium businesses in various digital transformation tools. According to Chief Executive of Suku Technology and Chair of the ICT Desk of the Chamber, Chal, the move is intended to boost the capacity of small businesses to scale up and compete under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Here's more.
In all, about 1,071 persons were trained in various digital transformation models. The ACI Digi project, which is an initiative by Expertise Fronts in collaboration with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is aimed at equipping small businesses with the digital know-how to boost sales and ensure scalability. Addressing the media at the closing ceremony of the Digital Response Connecting Citizens, Chief Executive of Suku Technology, Chal, explained that the program will enhance the capacity of local businesses to compete in the African Continental Free Trade Area.
We have had over 1,071 participants or business leaders across the country of Ghana benefited from this initiative. The idea also equipping them is also to ensure that they participate actively in taking advantage of these Continental Free Trade Agreements. You observe that most countries are gearing up to take advantage of this agreement. In fact, there's a Kenyan car battery manufacturing business who is already sending their product to Ghana under the agreement. We want to see our SMEs also selling outside Ghana under the agreement.
Emily Griffiths, project manager at Expertise Fronts, stated that the project will boost socio-economic development.
We have recognized the crucial role played by small and medium enterprises, understanding that their resilience and adaptability fuel the engine of economic growth. Our goal, anchored in the ethos of sustainable development, has been to fortify Ghana's private sector development strategies through the lens of digital innovation.
Minister for Information, Kojo Opon-Kroma, charged SMEs to leverage on skills development to ensure competitiveness in African trade.
To you, the beneficiary SMEs, what I'll say is that you have to utilize it. I know many people who go for programs, participate in it, take the lessons, and then return to business as usual after that. You need to really turn the page, shift to this new paradigm, and utilize the digital transformation plans that you have drawn up for your businesses. And it is only when you do that, that's the new frontier out there which you can reach out to through digitizing your businesses can actually be achieved.
President of the Ghana National Chamber for Commerce and Industry, Clement Osei-Amoako, noted that the project will improve digital inclusion and expand the reach of businesses.
With an unwavering focus on the betterment of businesses, the project elevated the performance of enterprises, equipping them with the digital tools and knowledge necessary for success in a rapidly evolving digital landscape.
The ACI Digi project, which was put together by Expertise Fronts in collaboration with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with support from European Union, Agence Française de Développement, and Suku Technology.
Now, the Institute of Directors Ghana has impressed on its members to make the deliberate effort to implement policies aimed at addressing the increasing cases of sexual harassment in the workplace. Speaking to Joy Business at a conference on sexual harassment in the workplace organized by Oxfam, President of the Institute of Directors Ghana, Angela Carmen-Appiah, said the phenomenon can be addressed through adoption of sexual harassment policies.
Globally, 17.9% of employed men and women had experienced psychological violence and harassment in their working life, and 8.5% had faced physical violence and harassment. Even though the victims sometimes feel uncomfortable reporting to higher authorities, the Institute for Directors Ghana believes the phenomenon can be addressed through the adoption of sexual harassment policies. Angela Carmen-Appiah is the president and chairperson of the governing council of the Institute of Directors Ghana.
We must be deliberate and intentional in what we do, not just to know, but to also prevent or salvage. So directors have a responsibility of providing strategic direction. Now, in providing a strategic direction is to be using information or data. So you are not just identifying risks, but managing them. Now, you need a competent director to be mindful of some of these so that they can prescribe, as we are doing now, certain policies to address the needs of society.
Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of a conference on draft model, gender workplace policy, Gender Advisor Project Manager of the EU Enough Project, Elma Hayford, underscored the importance of the conference in addressing the menace.
The issue of the existence of companies having policies on anti-sexual harassment and gender-friendly policies exist, but then the implementation and the awareness of staff and members of their team of these policies and where they can go to for support and redress is an issue. So it was very, very necessary that we look at the various organizations, come up with a guideline, and then that becomes the litmus by which organizations will look at what they have, if they have policies that exist, to see if they can strengthen those policies, or those that do not have can seek to adopt what we have put together.
On her part, Executive Director for Women in Law and Development Africa, Melody Dake, charged HR practitioners to create conducive and safe environment where victims can seek support and address concerns of gender violence.
And that's it for this segment. The news continues after the break.
And that's all we have here on Joy News Desk. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. We'll be right back at midday with Joy News Today. Please stay tuned.